Have you ever felt like a fraud? Like at any moment, someone's going to call you out and say that you're not a great coach. Well, if so, you are not alone. But what separates the successful coaches from the ones who quit? In this video, I'm going to share with you a step-by-step blueprint to destroy the imposter syndrome so that you finally show up, attract clients, and build a thriving coaching business. And stick around until the end because I'm going to share one powerful mindset shift that will help you view yourself as the expert that you already are. Now, the first key to destroying the imposter syndrome is to recognize that it's completely normal to feel like an imposter, but it's lying to you. You see, your mind is wired for self-preservation. It is not wired for success. We have thousands of years of evolutionary wiring in our brain to keep us safe. And putting yourself out there as a coach, declaring online to your friends, your family, your coworkers that you've decided to launch a coaching business brings up all of our fears and our doubts and our limiting beliefs. So it's normal to feel like an imposter. And in fact, one of the first keys to recognize is not to pretend like you don't feel that way, is not to ignore that feeling. It's to view that feeling with a sense of compassion and empathy, knowing that it's just your brain trying to keep you safe. That's it. So that's key number one. I'm going to share a couple more keys and we're going to get into the actual blueprint. Key number two is to recognize that imposter syndrome is the loudest among coaches more than any other type of business owner. You see, if you sold widgets, if you had an e-commerce store, imposter syndrome almost never comes up. Why? Because you're selling some product that's separate from you. But when you're a coach or a consultant, you are the product. So what if you get a client or a customer who doesn't get a result and has a bad experience? Guess what? That reflects on you, on your skills, on your intelligence, on your all of that. And so just recognize that with that imposter syndrome comes up, I want you to recognize that it's because of the nature of the business that you're building. And to know that you're not alone in feeling that way. And every successful coach who's at 6 and 7 figures and beyond went through the same stuff, except they just didn't quit. That's the difference. The first step to doing this, to moving through the imposter syndrome, to quieting it and to breaking it, is to reframe your identity. We've got to stop identifying as a new coach. There's power in our identity. And if you view yourself as a new coach, it's okay to view yourself as a new coach, but just don't view yourself as someone who's new. You see, if you follow me, you probably have 10 or 20 or 30 years of experience already. Life experience or work experience. And you're taking that life and work experience and you're packaging it into a new coaching business. So you're not new. You're the furthest thing from new. In fact, you are already an expert. But we view, because we haven't worked with any paying clients yet, that we're some newbie and we're some novice, even though it's not true. Sure, there's some skills that you got to build, but you are the furthest thing from an 18-year-old life coach right now. And so it's important to recognize that how you view yourself impacts everything. I can give you the best marketing and the best sales strategies in the world, but if you view yourself as a novice, as a beginner, then that's how you're going to show up, and that's the actions that you're going to take. So really critical to be aware of the identity that you're creating for yourself. Because again, know that your brain looks for proof. If you repeat over and over again, I'm new, I'm inexperienced, I'm not ready, I don't know what to do. Guess what? That's the evidence your brain's going to find. But if instead you say, I'm an expert, sure, there's some new skills I need to build, but I am an expert at this, and I know with certainty that I can provide value, guess what? That's what your brain will recognize, and it will delete the rest of the baggage. The next key to overcoming the imposter syndrome is to follow the 10% rule. And what the 10% rule says is that you only need to be 10% ahead of your client. In other words, you only need to be 1, 2, or 3 steps ahead of them to facilitate breakthrough and transformation. Sure, you can't be behind them, right? But as long as you're ahead of them and you're guiding them to avoid the mistakes in the road and accelerate the growth that they have in their career or in their business or in their health or in their relationships, you are valuable. You are useful because you have unique life experience to teach them that pathway ahead. So just know that the 10% rule is you don't have to be the best leader on the planet to be a leadership coach. You don't have to be the wealthiest person on the planet to be a financial coach. You don't need to be the best salesperson to be a sales coach. You need to be a few steps ahead of your clients with some unique knowledge and expertise and skills that can help them. One of the best strategies that I have, and I've been using this for years, to build my confidence and break through and overcome the imposter syndrome when it shows up, because it still shows up to me today, is to create a client results log. And a client results log is literally what it sounds like. It's a log of your biggest results that you've gotten for your clients. Now, I get that if you're brand new as a coach, you probably don't have a lot of track record yet of your clients' transformations, but you do have your own. And so think back to, on the subject that you're going to be coaching your clients on, what sort of tweaks, impacts, transformations, and improvements have you had in your business or your life? And literally write that down in a Google Doc or a spreadsheet. And look at that before you're about to record a video. Look at that before you're about to create a piece of social media content or have a sales call or show up on a coaching call. Because when you remind yourself of your own results, your confidence increases. Now, as you start coaching clients, capture the wins of those clients and put that into a log. Whenever there's a big speech that I have, right, I tend to have imposter syndrome come up as I'm about to step on stage. So the days and the weeks leading up to that, I go through my client results log. I watch the videos. I read the testimonials. I remind myself over and over and over again that what I'm about to share is useful. It's powerful. It's valuable. And that's who I show up to be when I present in that day. So that's a really important piece. Make sure to do that. The other big step into overcoming the imposter syndrome is to stop comparing and start contributing. You see, the fastest way to kill imposter syndrome is to serve someone immediately. The moment you serve somebody, your confidence will increase. And here's the thing. It doesn't have to be a big transformation. It could be a simple idea, a deeply thought question that you ask that turns somebody not 360 or 180 degrees, it turns them 1 degree in the direction of where they want to go. But then that stacks and the compound effect happens, and day after day, week after week, month after month, that could completely transform somebody's life. And sure, you can get that transformation in one conversation, but know that when you get out of comparing yourself, stop focusing in on others, on like, am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Am I successful enough? And start focusing out on your audience of what you need to do to help them. Your confidence will build very quickly. You see, I always say that confidence is a result. It is not a requirement. To wait around for confidence, you will wait your entire life. And so my invitation for you is to decide today to show up regardless of feeling confident. Yes, you need courage. You need to do something every day that scares you. And if that's making an offer, showing up on that first onboarding call with a brand new client, just saying out loud, right? Probably gives you the goosebumps thinking about it. The more that you stack those moments where you leverage courage, you build a point of confidence. And then you turn around a month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, blown away at how much more congruent, confident, and powerful you are as a coach. I don't necessarily believe in faking it till you make it. I just believe in declaring, this is who I am today. This is who I'm growing to be. You see, imposter syndrome comes because we're envisioning a bad outcome. And so if you were to close your eyes and instead envision the most successful outcome possible, you would be successful. But instead, if you envision losing that client or losing the sale, then that's what your reality is going to turn into. The final mindset shift that I promised in the beginning that I think is the most powerful is when you don't believe in yourself, borrow your belief from somebody else. You see, I actually wanted to do this with my family years ago, and I have a story that I'm about to share with you that was very heart-wrenching. But when I didn't receive that belief from them, and I still didn't believe in myself, I borrowed my belief from my mentor. When I launched my coaching business, I hired a mentor. And my first business coach spoke so much power into me when I felt powerless. And that's one of the most profound values of working with a coach who can help you. You see, about 10 years ago, I had just launched my coaching business, and I was about to publish this book behind me that you can't see over my right shoulder because it's blurry. It's called The Fearless Mindset. It became a #1 Amazon bestseller, but a few months before publishing, I ended up going to visit my family in North Carolina. And it was a family reunion. So I was seeing family members that I hadn't seen in 5 or 10 years. And I was so excited because it was the first chance that I had to announce to them that I had launched a coaching business. I quit my job in investment banking and private equity, and I was about to publish a book and tell my story. And I'll never forget sitting down at the dinner table and looking into my grandmother's eyes across and saying to my whole family that I had decided to publish a book and I launched a coaching business. And she looked at me and she says, "Peter, if you publish this book, we will disown you because you'll ruin the family name." In that moment, my heart sank. I remember excusing myself, rushing off to the bathroom, closing the door, locking it, and just tears flowed down because I lived my entire life for their approval. All I wanted in that moment was love and adoration and belief from my family. And it's the last thing that I got. And I was presented with a choice, and you are too. And that choice is simple. Do I let my need to make my family comfortable stop me from pursuing my dreams, or do I dig deeper and know that it's not about them and how they feel and go do this anyway? And thank God I had a coach who helped me stay focused on that second vision, because I was a recovering people pleaser. I just wanted love and adoration from the family. And that's the last thing that I got in that moment. So know that if you have imposter syndrome, you are not alone. It comes up, but do not quit. Take what I share in this video, implement it, and make this change. And again, trust me that as you start working with clients, your confidence will skyrocket. So now that you better understand how to overcome the imposter syndrome, drop me a comment below if you've ever felt like an imposter. Just say, "Yeah, me." And let me know, what is it that you're afraid of? Are you afraid of judgment, rejection, failure? Give me a little love on this video and let me know so that I'm not alone, and let others know that they're not alone. Because if you're just watching this video passively, then people aren't going to realize that they have others that are in the same journey that they are. And before I wrap up this video, can you do me a quick favor? I recently recognized that about 74% of you watching this are not subscribed to my channel. So if you've gotten value from this video and you want to never miss a future video, then subscribe to the channel right now so that you get notified when my next video is published. And once you've subscribed, make sure to check out my free online course that's brand new that teaches you step-by-step how to start a profitable coaching business and enroll your first paying client in the next 30 days. Click up here in the corner, watch that video, and I'll see you in the next video.